Strategy is important in all games and sports. For instance, chess is all about strategy, as a player knows that there will be no difficulty executing the move of a piece. And in football and basketball, how many hours do coaches watch film to develop approaches? I've heard many of them say it consumes most of their days. So why should golf be any different? Courses are filled with hazards, traps, trees, slippery slopes, as well as sand and grass of various depths. Not to mention ever-changing weather conditions. Identifying strategy in our sport is super important. Here are some options to consider. During warm-up, pre-round, understand where your misses are going that specific day. Are they short, long, right, or left? And plan to adjust accordingly throughout the round. This will help you identify your go-to shot shape for that specific day. And practice lag putting. Before going to the first tee, review the scorecard, yardage book, and pin location sheets. Understand that if you're an 18 handicap or above, par is a good score. And if you're below an 18, you should be thinking about making birdies. Identify easy to hard holes where birdie, par, or bogey is the objective. On the course, always stay focused. Golf is more strategic than physical. Think your way around the course. Remember that optimizing score isn't about how good your good shots are, but instead how good your bad ones turn out. For most amateur golfers, it's almost always better to make an aggressive, committed swing at a conservative target, which means away from trouble like penalty areas. Statistics show that par threes are the toughest for amateurs. If you're an 18 handicap player or above, always aim for the fat area of the green. Par is a great score on 3-shot holes. If you played on the PGA Tour and made par on every par 3 that season, you would lead the tour statistically. Don't tinker too much mid-round. Your objective on the course is to play golf, not play golf swing. Your mind isn't capable of digesting everything happening on the course, plus processing lots of swing technique. Limit swing thoughts to 1 or 2, and don't stray away from them. Stick with that same thought for that entire round. Stay positive. Regardless of where your shot goes, proceed with confidence and belief in yourself. It's fine to show a little emotion quickly, but then keep it in check. Getting angry won't do you any good. Tiger Woods gives himself 10 steps after a shot to get upset, but then he leaves it behind him and will move forward. Focus on what you can control. Identify distance, direction, and trajectory, and pick a small target. You'll trigger a more refined motor skills while aiming at a mini target. Try to aim away from any penalty areas in front of you, but realize that sometimes it can be hard to do. It's like thinking about an ice cream cone and not having one. The image may persist in your mind, so try tricking your brain by focusing intently on a small target well beyond that penalty area. Alternatively, clear your mind by taking a deep breath and briefly moving your eyes horizontally, and then begin thinking of something unrelated to penalty strokes. Think strategically. On the tee of each hole, look at the pin location of the hole as well as the fat area of the green and assess where you want to aim. Work backwards from the green to tee, because you need to identify where you want your approach shot to land on the green, and then which side of the fairway is going to be best to accomplish it. Measure out distances to penalty areas and play away from them. Look for backstops and side slopes on the fairway and green that can help you. If it's windy, consider low knockdown shots, which are easier to control and the wind won't affect as much. If it's wet, recognize that the ball won't travel as far as usual. If you have a go-to club or a favorite yardage, hit the distances that will enable you to use that shot. Visualize how you'll play the hole, thinking about a good swing tempo and seeing the ball land in each target area. Consistent tempo is underrated and it is much needed for low scoring. Don't let monster drives of your playing partners devour you. Swinging hard will take you out of rhythm and cause problems. If your game calls for a layup, do so. Hitting the widest part of the fairway usually improves score. Distance is helpful, but for amateurs it's probably overrated. Accuracy is what's important. Always evaluate your lie. It's all about determining the amount of compression that you can get on the ball. The lie determines everything that's feasible for the shot. If the ball is sitting down or difficult to dig out, don't get too much out of it because you may end up with little to no advancements, or maybe even a whiff. Watch for flyer lies, where a few strands of grass get between the club face and the ball. They may cause it to travel further than normal and also reduce spin. This happens mostly in Bermuda rough. It doesn't have to be that long, but if you get any Bermuda grass between the club face and the golf ball, you will get a flyer. Avoid short siding to the flagstick. This occurs when there's very little area to land and stop the ball. Usually a very high lob or flop shot is required. And that kind of execution is difficult for most amateurs because it requires advanced skill. If your handicap is above 18, it's almost always better to aim for the fat area of the green and not shoot into trouble. Lay up on a par 5 unless it's a very easy hole. Lag putt over 20 feet and respect downhill ones as the ball can run out and get away from you. Hit chip or pitch shots only when you cannot putt. If your handicap is less than 18, balance risk and reward for taking on penalty strokes off the tee. Identifying flag sticks to attack, attacking putts inside 15 feet. There'll be times when you feel like you have it and other times when you don't. When you're on, be more aggressive and drive your score lower. But the reverse is also true. If you're not playing your best, take less aggressive clubs and lines. Manage your missed shots. Don't rush because you are in a bad place. Get yardage, identify penalty areas and other trouble, develop options to recover, and select the best one. Know when to take your medicine. Don't try to be a hero. When out of position, play safely to get back into play. Defense prevails. Coaches in football and basketball talk about how defense wins championships. The same is true in golf. And your defense is your short game. Since the very best professionals miss on average 5 to 6 greens per round, getting the ball up and down is hugely important. Spend time working on your short game. In short, on-course strategy is about getting information, considering options, and adjusting throughout the round. When finished, go beyond your numeric score and identify how you did from an on-course strategy standpoint and learn from your mistakes. Good luck and let us know if we can help.